Buonasera a tutti. Hi everybody and welcome to our last live from Glasgow to Fubbiano. Piero, over to you.
Fattoria di Fubbiano in conjunction with Pane Vino food and wine pairing. We've had such a good time that we've not really, during this lockdown, which everyone's thinking it's a long, tedious time, we can't believe that a month has passed. And it has been fun, with a few technical difficulties along the way, but it's still very enjoyable. Tonight, we're going to finish off, as we should, with a dessert, and a lovely dessert wine with some fantastic products, along with Guy, our resident chef to the stars, is going to make a couple of fantastic sponges, and hopefully Sandro, along with yourself, Chiara, will talk us through this magnificent wine from Fattoria Fubbiano. Also, I hope everyone has enjoyed themselves as much as we have, and I would like to just say that, even if you don't like sweet dessert wines, like some people have commented to me, it's well worth getting to know how good a sweet wine is at the end of a meal with a dessert on a lovely piece of cheese. So enjoy yourselves tonight, enjoy the wine, and nothing more to say than over to Guy.
Hi. Well.
Hi, Guy.
Hi, Chiara. Hi, Sandro. I just echo what Piero said. I can't believe that 4 weeks have gone. We've all had so much fun. It's been terrific. But everything good comes to an end. So even if it's just for a short while until we get some more wine and I learn a couple of recipes, we'll have a little break. But tonight we're having a dessert to go with this fabulous wine that Piero's been sipping all evening. And we're going to have an orange and lemon sponge. And this is a recipe which I've been making for a long time. I actually pinched it from someone else, but I've kind of tailored it with my own little bits and pieces to make it mine. It's a wonderful, light, moist, and absolutely delicious citrusy cake. So I'll just talk you through the ingredients, but before I do, I must apologise that in the last 4 weeks, any of my Italian pronunciation, if it's been awful, please forgive me. It's not been intentional.
Very good. Very good.
And let's go on with it. So tonight we have oranges and lemons. Now these are unwaxed because we're going to use the zest, which is here in the sponge, and we're going to use the juice. We have self-raising flour, castor sugar, and baking powder. We've got fresh Coos juice, a wee bit of milk, the orange and lemon zest. Now here is an interesting thing. Normally this would be piled up with beautiful, delectable, delicious French butter. I couldn't get any today. So I've actually
So Guy, you're not using your usual French butter?
No, I can't. I feel like I'm betraying my French milkmaid. But this is from a Scottish farm, and it's very good.
Scottish butter's lovely.
So,
Are you happy, Sandro? Are you happy, Sandro?
I'm really happy. Yeah.
Are you all right with that?
I'm fine.
Sandro, we did fix the squeaky door with the Italian butter. It's not squeaking anymore. And we've got 4 eggs, and in here we've got some granulated sugar and the orange and lemon juice. Now the orange juice, what I do with that is I reduce it by half on the wee hob here to concentrate the taste of the orange, because the lemon sort of tends to outweigh it, so it just balances it up, and we just get going. Piero said that we were making sponges, a couple of cakes, and that's true, but it's 2 of the same cake. It's a kind of, here's one I made earlier, and here's one we're making just now. So, just in case somebody goes, what happened to the chocolate cake? Anyway, so that's all from me just now. So over to Sandro.
Hi,
Sandro,
everybody.
buonasera.
Buonasera to everybody. Pleasure to be back on again. It's great fun. Look forward to our little meetings and little get-togethers every Thursday at 6:30. Tonight we have a really unusual, really nice wine. The famous Aleatico. Aleatico spreads from Puglia, Sicilia, all the way up the peninsula. And Chiara, can you explain how it eventually got to Toscana?
Yes, I think that Aleatico has been transported, as well as many other grapes, of course, throughout Italy to all the different dominations we had, foreign dominations we had. And so each grape found its best house somewhere in Italy. And Aleatico found its a very good place to grow in Elba, of course. In Lucca, we have Aleatico for unknown reasons. But what I can tell you is that we are cultivating these grapes in Severn because I have here a bottle of Aleatico dating back to 1950. So it means that on the farm we have these grapes since a lot of time. And let's say that we decided to use this grape to make this sweet wine just because Vinsanto, that is the most popular sweet wine in Toscana, is very expensive, both to be produced and to be bought. And so we decided to propose to our customers a new kind of sweet wine that could be less expensive and a little special, like Aleatico, of course.
Well, I find Aleatico to be luscious, wonderful wine. I'll let Chiara explain how they actually make this wine, but I would just like to talk a bit about the flavor, the lusciousness, the ruby sort of fruity. There's vanilla there. The wine is to be treated a bit like you would treat a port, and of course in Italy, Aleatico goes especially well with Gorgonzola, a lovely Gorgonzola di Montagna and Aleatico. It's the same as drinking a good port with Stilton, you know. So I think that this Aleatico goes really well with Gorgonzola. Also goes well with Dunsdire Blue, Lanark Blue, wonderful cheeses like that, and of course Stilton. It's not as cloy as a port can be, and of course the wine is naturally fermented, unlike port, which is wine alcohol added to it to bring the strength up. Aleatico is about 13%. And one of the unusual things about Aleatico, there are very few wines in the world that are actually good with chocolate. And when I talk about chocolate, I don't mean Cadbury's milk, as good as Cadbury's milk is. I'm talking about 70% and up cocoa chocolates, which are real chocolate. And there's a wine called Ricciotto in the Piemonte area, which is sorry, not Ricciotto, Barolo Chinato, which is really good with chocolate. This year is also one of the ones that complements chocolate, because normally chocolate and wine just don't like each other. And of course, cantuccini, and of course, puddings. And I think it's going to go exceptionally well with what Guy is baking up tonight for us. But Chiara, could you tell us a bit about how they make this very special wine?
Yes, of course. This very special wine is made harvesting these grapes that I remind are called Aleatico at the beginning of September. And then we leave these grapes on little baskets, in little plastic baskets that we put one up the other, and we leave them in the sun so the sun can dry these grapes until it becomes week after week almost like raisins. And then at the end, when the grape is completely dried, we destem it, we put them into containers, into our tanks where fermentation starts. And fermentation is very fast because sugar inside is extremely concentrated. And yeasts are so fast in eating sugar and transforming it into alcohol that at a certain point they stop eating sugar because they are too full. And so there's a balance between alcohol and sugar. And that is why this one is not too alcoholic, as we were saying before. It's completely different from port for the reasons you said, Sandro.
Yep, certainly. And it's what worries me a little, of course, is all the chocolate and the cantuccini that are lying over near Guy Cowan, and he might actually be picking at some of them. But can I pass you back to Guy? Guy, could we all have a wee talk now and see what you're doing with the cake?
Well, not a lot, but I was just about to check, because sometimes Pierre's got a habit of putting fake stuff out, just for camera. So, no, real. And very good. Very good.
Because Piero, in your shop, do you have several Italian products that can be matched with this Aleatico? Of course, today we are baking this great lemon and orange cake. But do you have anything else in the shop that can be matched with Aleatico?
Yes. Well, for starters, the cantuccini, which I think is an all-rounder, especially in Toscana. I think it goes exceptionally well with the Aleatico. But we know about the chocolate, the dark chocolate. We know about the gorgonzola, especially this one maybe is a little on the milder. We would have been better with a picante gorgonzola, but gorgonzola goes exceptionally well. But I would also say a nice pecorino stagionato. And then these little chocolate things here might not look great, but these are figs wrapped in dark chocolate, and I think they go absolutely brilliantly with the wine.
These are figs wrapped in dark chocolate.
These are.
These here?
Yeah, these are figs. These were figs wrapped in dark chocolate, and they go really well. But yes, there's other products. I think many of the Italian style biscuits. I even think things like ricciarelli, or how do you call that one? Brigolona. How do you say it in Italian? I think these things would go great, and I supply. I keep most of these things all year round.
Oh.
But the cantuccini and the gorgonzola, this gorgonzola is fantastic. So I would strongly recommend any of these things. I had a wee square of chocolate, and the two just combine together perfectly. The wine and the chocolate wrap themselves around your tongue, and the flavors just go on forever. So it really does go well with the 70% dark chocolate. Absolutely brilliant. Is Guy going to do some cooking or some eating?
Well, I just have fig and chocolate. It's absolutely delicious. So let's start. Smother baking powder and sugar in here. And we're going to add to that the orange and lemon zest, which I grated in advance. I'm sure if you've got one of these microplanes, that's absolutely ideal for doing things like this, because you get it really nice and fine. 4 tablespoonfuls of milk, 4 whole eggs, and half a pound or 225 grams of softened butter. And we're just going to give this all a mix in here. Now, I use the whisking attachment rather than the beating blade because it, if I can get the damn thing on, because what does it do? It puts more air in it, which is better for the texture of the cake. So we'll start off slowly in case we cover Piero. Now, you're not going to hear much because this gets quite noisy when we turn it up, so you'll need to chat amongst yourselves for the next 2 minutes.
Okay, we drink in the meanwhile. Sandro, what do you think about it?
2 minutes.
So, I've got a question to ask Chiara and everyone,
Sure.
even all our viewers, they could type in what they believe. In Italy, we have a meal consists of an antipasto, which is your entree or your starter. Then we have our pasta. Then we have which is primo. Then we have our secondo. And then we have terzo, quarto, quinto, sesto. No, we don't. Then after secondo, we normally then have cheese, and then we have a sweet.
Yeah.
But sometimes in in Britain and in the UK and even in America, they have a sweet before the cheese. So type in, guys, what do you believe should be the case? Should it be sweet first or cheese first? Interesting to know.
Let's ask him.
Or is it just what you prefer?
Yeah, you want to ask that to Guy, or you ask to me?
That to you as well, yeah.
Okay, fine. Yes, sorry. Yes, of course. Personally, I prefer closing the dinner with salted stuff, let's say, okay, and then having dessert. Okay, so that's my favorite thing. But I don't know what is better for you in Scotland.
I agree with you, but there are many different ways of doing that, and I've noticed that sometimes the cheese comes at the very end, and people finish with the cheese and the wine and some grapes. So I suppose there are different ways of doing it.
Yeah.
You know, what you prefer.
Anyway, this wine, let's say, could be good both with cheese and sweet and dessert. So that's no problem. I just would like to answer to some people that are asking me about Vinsanto. As I said, we used to make Vinsanto, but we stopped making Vinsanto because it is too expensive to produce and to sell. And so people did not really understood the value of that wine. So we stopped making Vinsanto, and now we make only Aleatico. So anyway, going back to Aleatico, what I wanted to say is that Aleatico in Fubbiano is made the way I said, so drying grapes, fermenting grapes naturally, and then we age it in oak barrels. So I don't know if all the other Aleatico around Italy are aged in barrels. At Elba Island, yes. I don't know in the rest of Italy. I don't know if you know something about that, Sandro. I think.
No, I just know Aleatico. I've tasted Aleaticos from the south of Italy. I've actually never tasted Aleatico from Elba, I'm ashamed to say. And this particular one, I mean, salute to Fubbiano, because this is a wine that just lends itself. When you sip it, you want to sip it again and again and again. I mean, it's just a wonderful, wonderful wine. It's spicy, it's aromatic, it has cinnamon, vanilla, and you were saying it's also aged in oak, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, of course. Yes.
You know, is this French oak as well?
Yes, always French oak. We always buy our oak barrels from France. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. With the butter.
Like the butter. So, Guy, tell us what you're doing. Did you stop making noise?
I've stopped making. Well, the machine stopped making noise. I'm still making some. So we've mixed everything. And normally, if I wasn't in camera, I would lick that, but I better not. So this is ready to get in the cake tin and go in the oven.
Did you boil it, butter it?
No, it's a non-stick.
Okay.
It's non-stick, so only partially sticks. Because it was a cheap.
Hey, Guy, who's the boss? You or Piero?
Oh, I know. It's terrible. He's moved the figs away a wee bit further so I can't reach them.
Hey guys, that's a lady, Amanda Person, that is saying, as an English person, it's pudding, then cheese, then coffee and chocolates. What do you think about? It's before cheese and then sweet, or what do you think about?
I think you should have the cheese before the dessert. Okay. I think you should have cheese, then cake, then chocolate.
Okay. Piero, what about you?
I know that some people say that the dessert first, the cheese second, but I'm afraid I'll go along with Guy. I like the cheese first. And I like to finish on a sweet tone. I'm sorry, I do like to do that.
But there's also the thing that you'll always find space to squeeze a little something sweet in. And if you have the dessert first, sometimes you're too full to have the cheese. Whereas if you have the cheese, you'll still always find time for a wee bit of cake.
I agree.
It doesn't really matter as long as we get the cheese.
Okay, so here, Cristiano Cortopassi, that is the sommelier from La Buca di Sant'Antonio that has been with us during our first live broadcast, says, I think cheese first and finish with a dessert. but it all depends on the wine you are drinking. If you are having a great red wine, I will finish with the cheese, but with Aleatico, it will go either way. So he agrees with us, let's say.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Okay, so up to you, Guy. What are you doing now?
Well, I'm just flattening the or evening out all the wee ridges in the top, and this is ready to go in the oven, which is very conveniently downstairs. So I'm going to have to sit here for a minute, put this in the oven. But it's going in for about 40, 45 minutes.
Do we have that amount of time?
Well,
Of course, we have plenty of time.
fortunately, with the power of technology, we don't have time.
Of course.
So I'm going to leave you for a couple of minutes and go and put this in the oven downstairs, and I'll just check on the one that's down there.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So come back soon.
Back up, somebody will probably have washed that.
Okay. So Piero, up to you. Tell us something about the products you have on your table. What do you have there?
On your table?
Yes, what do you have? You have cantuccini. Can you tell us what is cantuccini? What cantuccini are?
What they are is a Tuscan homemade biscuit, which is very simple to make and mainly used with nocciole or almonds. I think, but then you get so many different varieties nowadays of cantuccini with pistachio and with limone and everything. But I like the traditional almond flavored cantuccini, always served with traditionally bean santo. But I don't think I've never made them, but I don't think they're so difficult to make at home. I know many people who make them, and you make them, roll them all out into a big sausage, and then you cut up all the wee biscuits. Easy to make, but very, very popular. You know, since it's one of these items that Italy has sold well abroad. I'm sure you go everywhere, all over the world, and you get cantuccini in most restaurants everywhere. So very, very popular, and there's no better biscuit. It's ideal for soaking up some nice sweet wine. So it's ideal.
And of course, you can dip the cantuccini, can't you?
What's that?
You can dip the cantuccini in your
You can dip
Aleatico.
Want me to dip? Oh, but you can't dip one. You need to dip 2 or 3
or 4. Yum yum.
Lovely.
Can you your water?
None. And Piero, what about the gorgonzola you have in your shop?
Gorgonzola has to be, as I said, maybe with this wine, it would have been better having a gorgonzola picante. This one is, I've never known what the word means, but erborizzato.
Erborinato. Because erborinato means that there are that it has been, how can I say, there is some mold inside.
There's plenty of mold inside it.
Yeah.
But one of the most popular cheeses. Absolutely lovely. Sorry, I'm speaking with my mouth full. Sandra told me to dip it in my wine.
Of course, there is a slight difference between drinking port and Stilton and Aleatico or Gorgonzola, because Gorgonzola is a much softer cheese. Even when it is a bit firmer, it's still never as firm as a Stilton. And of course, I have seen them dig out the middle of a Stilton before, and then put the Stilton balls by the actual round of cheese and pour the bottle of port in it.
Oh, really? Really, Sandra?
Stilton, and then eating it with bread. Yeah, it's very tasty. But near the end, it gets a bit disgusting.
Do you like that?
I prefer my own dish. I always have. I'm not into sharing.
Piero, what are you doing?
What I'm doing is I'm
hiding the food from Guy.
Is the chocolate. The chocolate and the wine for me is the one at the top. Absolutely fantastic.
Well, let's hope the cake will be the top.
Well, I'm leaving a little bit of wine for the cake. If I stop dipping the biscuits in.
I have absolutely no doubt about that. We were talking earlier, Sandro, about couple of Scottish blue cheeses.
Yeah.
Which I think would hold up very well.
Yeah.
And Humphrey Errington's Lanark Blue and Dunsire Blue.
Mm-hmm.
Can I butt in and say something I'm very proud of?
You say something.
I was one of the first customers to buy in Fancy Brothers Cambridge Street Lanark blue cheese. I remember and he was very proud that I was keeping his cheese.
And it's fabulous cheese, and he's had trouble with over the years with environmental health, and he's won because it's all been proved to be a lot of nonsense. But he's passionate about his cheese, and Lanark Blue is a serious contender against Roquefort. I mean, it really is. It's a blue sheep's milk cheese, quite salty, absolutely delicious. Anyway, our cake is in the oven. We've one which will be coming out in just about 10 minutes. In here, this is the next stage, and this is the orange, reduced orange and lemon juice. The lemon juice not reduced, and golden granulated sugar, which we'll just kind of mix with a fork, and then we'll spoon it over the cake once it comes out of the oven while it's still warm, and we do that until it absorbs all the juice, and it makes the sponge very moist, very citrusy, and leaves a lovely sugar crust at the top. So that's the next thing that we will do, but we can't do anything until we get a cake out of the oven to do it with.
Okay, in the meanwhile, would you like to talk about your friendship, Piero and Guy?
Guy, talk about it, yeah? On you go.
Oh, well, Piero and I have...
Be careful.
Piero and I guess since we were about in our mid-teens, we not necessarily always in the same crowd, but we would quite often end up at the end of the night at the same parties or the same flat or whatever, with a small crowd. We went to the same clubs. We used to go to a place called Lucifer's many years ago, and we were way under the age for getting in.
I think Sandro used to go there.
But we were, with our swarthy dark looks, they couldn't.
The Mayfair Club for me, it was a Mayfair.
That was way before decimalisation, wasn't it? But we used to go to Maestro's as well, and of course the Casa d'Italia in Park Circus, which was a very fine Italian club. And on a Sunday night in Glasgow, traditionally Italian restaurants are shut, and the reason was that that was the night that all the restaurant owners and chip shop owners went to the Casa d'Italia, let their hair down, had a plate of pasta, had a dance, had a wee game of poker,
and gambled all their
shops away. And gambled their shops away. Yeah, quite. We know a couple that did, but we had that. It was a great place, and you weren't technically meant to be Italian to get in there. So you had to learn a couple of Italian words to get past the guys at the door. Scusi always get you in. But we also have this bond through food. There's no doubt about it, because from the early days of Fattoria Brothers to Sarti's, when I had my deli 30 odd years ago in the West End of Glasgow, and Fattoria Brothers supplied me, then Sarti supplied me. I can honestly say that the finest plate of spaghetti carbonara I ever ate in my life, this man made for me one night. He's never made it since, right enough, but it was absolutely, it was so good. I actually think I had a second plate, which is quite unusual for me.
Yeah.
But we both absolutely love food, and I remember reading long time ago in an Indian cookbook where they were talking about all the ethics of food and one thing and another, and they said you have to remember that everything you eat was once alive, and treat it with respect. And that's whether it was a cow or a chicken or a fish or a plant. Rice, it was once alive, and I've always treated my food with respect, and Piero is the same. He always treats food with respect. And you know, what better thing, what can you share with a person more than sitting down and having a meal with them?
You know what, can I butt in? You know what amazes us, amazed Guy and myself and Debbie today? McDonald's opened for the first time since the lockdown here in Glasgow, and people waited up till 2.5 hours to get a hamburger. We can't understand that. 2.5 hours with their children in a car to eat a McDonald's. What does that say about the world we live in when we're here trying all this stuff and we're food's so important and wine's so important? We have 2.5 hour queues.
Yeah,
it's sad.
You're right. Sandro, instead, do you agree their story about their friendship, or there's some special thing you would like to add?
No. I know they've known each other all their lives. I've known Guy as well. I mean, I've never been in his group because they were younger.
Okay.
But I remember Guy for as long as I can remember, you know. But Chiara, people have been asking me about Fubbiano, and not just about the wines, because the wines are, you know, are really, really, really good. But they've been asking me about accommodation and how do you get there. Obviously not now, because, you know, to be able to have a 2-week holiday, you need a month now, because you need 2 weeks to get back in isolation. But hopefully for the near future, could you maybe expand on what Fubbiano offers? I know it has 3 villas, but what else?
Yes, Fubbiano is like a little hamlet on the hills around Lucca. And we have 3 villas with their own private garden and swimming pool. The biggest villa is for 12 people. The second biggest villa is for 11 people. And then we have a cottage for 6 people. And then we have all the, what you call the workers' cottages, where once upon a time our farmers used to live. And they are 5. Exactly 4 apartments for 4 people and 1 apartment for 6 people. So it's very nice, because even big groups like wedding groups or big friends groups or companies and so on take all the farm together. And it is very nice because people are really free to spread out and to do whatever they want on the farm. We don't have a restaurant, of course, but we can provide cook. Or people can cook by themselves, because each house is provided with a complete kitchen, of course. And you know that, Sandro, anyway.
Yeah, it was fabulous. Yeah, I really, really recommend. I mean, I'm going to try and organize a few trips once normality comes back, whatever normality is going to be. But I think there's so many people been asking. I think it'll be quite simple to get people over. We'll see. Maybe 2021, maybe even the latter end of 2020, you know, autumn.
Yes, who knows? Things are getting better. Yes, of course. That will be fun.
Anyway.
The most important thing to say is that when everything is opening again and you are able to travel, Piero and Guy, this is for you too. I am waiting for you, Fubbiano. Don't think that we finish this live broadcast and we don't see each other anymore. Guy, I want to try all your recipes, okay?
It'll be nice
the whole menu from Guy's restaurant.
Of course. We had the pasta, we had beef, we had lamb, and we had a dessert. So it is a complete menu. Okay, Guy?
He also made a very nice veal cutlet. Remember, Guy?
Yes.
That was lovely. I used to have that.
Yes.
The funny thing was, I was going to make ravioli next week, but never mind.
Another program on for Guy. He wants to make ravioli. We'll have to have another one.
I'm going downstairs to get a cake out of the oven. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't trip and fall.
Yes. Yes, of course. So it is very interesting. It's very. No. I was saying it's interesting the fact that if you come to Italy and then you go back to the UK, you must be isolated for 14 days. That's very interesting because now we are walking around, everything is getting free, and you instead have to, you have the virus.
I know we have the virus here. You've got to isolate to come back here.
It's interesting.
Oh,
Yes. Anyway, Piero, our wine, I think, should be on the way. So you said you completely finished all our stuff from Fubbiano.
Has the chap been to collect it?
Yes, no, not yet, but I hope they are coming very quickly.
Yeah,
So
I'm speaking to him. I need to add on a few more cases.
yeah. And are you coming to Lucca this year?
Don't think so.
No,
But if
Sandro?
well, as soon as the Liberators, yes, but who knows?
Then you have to quarantine 14 days in the UK.
I don't mind that. I'm retired. I can quarantine for as long as. Well, quarantine is a bit contradiction in terms. I was 40, so isolate.
Yeah, yes. Anyway, guys, I am very happy that you two brothers accepted my invitation to do these lives because without you, this wouldn't have been possible. So really, thank you very much. I hope you had some fun. I hope it was not okay. Piero, I know that you work a lot. I know that you are preparing these takeaway food. I read something on your Facebook pages. What are you doing exactly?
Well, we've decided, when was it? The start of the end of April, May, we decided to open 3 days a week, 5 hours a day. And we were astonished that people really made an effort to support the shop. And it's very humbling. And it gave me strength just to keep going and keep the door open. I honestly can't thank the customers so much. They've been absolutely brilliant. I mean, and they come here, wait in a queue for 20 minutes, come in and buy most of the things that I sell, including the wine. And it's just a great feeling. It's a great feeling of solidarity, support. It's just it's something I've not experienced before in my business life. And I really want to say a big thank you to all my customers. They're absolutely wonderful, great. And yes, we're open 3 days a week, and we have an order forum actually on our Facebook page where people can pre-order. Their orders are made up, and then they can come in and collect them. And it's working well. It's working well, even though it's still a different period. It might not continue. But for now, while people are not working, well, a lot of people aren't working, and there's a lot of people staying at home, it's really well supported. So long may it continue, and I would recommend all these people who do come and visit Pane Vino and do come and enjoy shopping here to take our advice and come and go and visit also Fattoria Fubbiano.
Yeah.
I'm sure that it's the right type of person, and they would absolutely love it.
Yeah. Hey Piero, can you say to Guy that we are live?
Guy, we're live. Oh.
I need another couple of minutes for that cake.
Guy wants 2 more minutes.
Okay, that's no problem. Guy, is there anything you would like to say about this experience we had together during these 4 weeks we have been together during these lives?
Is that you?
I don't know. Who's me? Piero?
You, Guy.
Oh, me. Oh, I've had an absolute ball, and I've been really been touched, and I feel quite privileged that you've asked me to join in, because it's a bit of a daunting task cooking food for Italians, and especially Italians that are in the industry. So I've had a great time, and things like when the power went, or the echoes and things like that. It's all added to the excitement of the night. Fortunately, I think we've got everything sorted for the very last show.
There's still 10 minutes to go.
There's still 10 minutes to go. But I must go downstairs and get this cake out of the oven. So I'll see you in a minute or 2.
Okay.
Well, Chiara, I'm going to miss these Thursday nights because I'll probably find that I'm going to come up here to my office and sit down in front of the computer or the laptop and go,
I'm going to miss this too, because for me, this is the last live I'm doing. Even if I must tell you, our another shop that is not a delicatessen shop like yours, Piero, but it's a flower shop in Holland, in Sliedrecht, asked me to do the same with them. So next week, probably we are starting this thing together with them. But we are not going to cook. They are going to make to match wine with flowers because they have flowers. So it will be something different.
that would be different. I must click on. I must congratulate you, Chiara, because you really work hard because you do the American English version, which I've been watching, and then you also do, is it 2 Italian versions?
Yeah, but this week was the last one. So
I know, but it's been tough because you're constantly speaking to Aurelio Baratti, isn't it? From
Barattini.
From L'Antica Locanda, which is one of my favorite restaurants. Then, of course, Cristiano Cortopassi from
La Buca di Sant'Antonio.
These names. I think I'm drinking too much Aleatico. La Buca di San Antonio, they're up there as well. So you have lots of people on, which and very interesting wine talks as well.
Thank you. But it was a pleasure. It was a lot of fun anyway. A lot of fun. Thank you. Anyway, Guy's back. Guy's back.
Chiara, you never said which one was the best.
Oh, no, you are all in my heart. Everybody is in my heart. No, really, it was a pleasure to stay with each single person. Each single person.
The restaurants are different anyway. Both L'Antica Locanda and La Buca, they're two different types of restaurants. They're both good in their own way. They're both great in their own way.
I think anyway, Sandro, that Piero was talking about my favorite live, my favorite guest. I think so, yes. Piero, were you speaking about my favorite live or my favorite restaurant in Lucca?
Why? What was that, Chiara? Sorry?
No, I said, when you never said what is your favorite one. You were speaking about our lives, or were you speaking about restaurants in Lucca?
Oh, I said, now that you've done all these different live chats, which is your favorite one? It must be this one here. It must be this one with Pane Vino.
Okay, here with you, I can say that you are my favorite one. And then with the American ones, I can say they are my favorite.
That's it. You got to be diplomatic.
No, you know what? All these people I asked to do these lives are friends, are good friends. So it's a pleasure to stay with them. Also because, with this incredible lockdown that in Italy is at the end, of course. But I have been feeling very lonely. So I was starting to get crazy. But to do these all together, even if we are not close each other, it's a pleasure.
But I've been watching the American one in particular. And I mean, I admire them because it's very hard for them to come to Fubbiano. It's not as easy, normal situation. It's easy for us to come to Italy from here. But from America, it's hard.
Yes, it is.
Especially now.
So we will see. Anyway, Guy is back. So let's see. What are you doing, Guy?
So we're taking the cake off the base and putting it on this rack to let it cool, and that base is quite hot. Oh.
Don't hurt yourself.
So now we're going to start putting this orange, lemon, and sugar syrup on it. We'll give it a wee stir to kind of get the sugar dissolved partially. This the smell of the oranges and lemons off this juice is terrific. So basically, we're just spreading this over because this will run through the sponge eventually. And form a sugar crust. Do you like sponge, Chiara?
I was going to ask Piero and Sandro, when you speak about sponge, do you mean what in Italian we call pan di Spagna?
Pan di Spagna, yeah.
Yes, right. Yes, of course. Yes, I like it very much, of course. Yes, yes, yes. I wish I were there.
I've been with this lockdown. I've been making bread. I've
I
been
see that.
making pan di Spagna, and my daughter and I were making the ciambella as well.
I was
I
waiting.
saw
We do a lot of baking.
I saw you have a friend that is Bill Smith, I think, if I'm not
Yeah,
wrong, that
also just
makes
now,
very
yeah,
good. Yes, yes, he's a good baker. Yes, of course.
yeah.
Oh, what we're going to do is we're going to pour that in there.
Guy is in trouble.
No trouble. No trouble.
It looks good, Guy.
So we just keep doing this until it absorbs it all.
Okay.
Okay, which probably take about 3 or 4 times. Piero was pointing out to me I'd missed a bit earlier, but
It looks absolutely delicious.
They stopped.
Smell-
Okay,
smell-
okay. Now they are back. Now they are back.
Don't drop it, please. We're all enthralled, eh?
You know what cake I miss, Chiara, from Italy?
What?
The budino di riso.
Ah, budino di riso. That is from Spezia, that area, right?
Well, we get it in Versilia and Lucca as well, but budino is, I can eat 2 or 3 of them. But no, I mean, you can see I can eat 2 or 3 of them.
talking about those.
You have something similar, like a rice pudding in the UK.
Yeah, it's not really budino. Yes, we have rice pudding, which is very good. Rice pudding. We have bread and butter pudding.
Mm-hmm.
You can make with pancare, or you can use even panettone, colomba, pandoro to make it as well.
Yes.
Uh,
Sorry, I
So-
answered to this question. Someone is asking, is Fubbiano anywhere near the village of Monte Carlo? Yes, we are near the village of Monte Carlo.
next door, yeah. And the village of
We
Collodi
are
as
just
well.
in front of the village of Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
But see, we have Monte Carlo in front of us, and we have Collodi next to us. Yes.
And Collodi, of
We are
course,
in
is
the
famous
area.
for Pinocchio.
Pinocchio, of course. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
yes.
And La Villa Garzoni, which is beautiful.
One more. No, one more.
In this area, there are also the historical villas to visit all around. There are many things to see, as well as Lucca, of course, Versilia with its beaches and the sea.
But Fubbiano is a particularly good area if you like to walk, because there are some lovely walks and villages in the hills that you can approach, like San Gennaro.
Right.
You can approach through little tracks through the mountains, right past
Exactly.
your house, right up to.
Oh,
So
let's go.
hold
Let's go
on.
to Piero. Yes, we are here. We are here. Where are they going? Yes. Wait, Sandro. Sorry if I stopped you. We have several tracks along the front. Okay, so now let's concentrate on Piero.
Here's one that we made earlier. And I don't know if you can see, the camera can pick up the sugar crystals. Can you see them
I
glistening?
can see them.
Yes, yes, we can see them.
Okay, so all we're going to do now, and if my daughter Carly is watching, because she made one today, and I'm sure hers was nearly as good as mine, but maybe not quite. And I have a friend, a Colombian friend, Diana Peralta, and this is her absolute favorite cake. So Diana, this is for you.
Diana, ciao.
I don't know if you've got it down.
So Piero, have you got a plate that we can give you a slice of this?
I'll just go and get myself a plate.
Someone is asking to save for him a slice.
Yes, right.
I'm going to sell the rest of it in the shop tomorrow.
Yeah, that's my next cake. I think I'll bake that one tomorrow.
Okay. So, yeah.
Here we are.
What's that like?
Wow.
Perfectly cooked.
Perfect.
Perfectly cooked.
Let's see how it tastes.
Oh. Cuts beautifully. Smells delicious. See that that little glaze on the top? It's just fantastic, and the texture of it.
How does it go with the
light,
wine?
orangey, but not
Yes.
doesn't draw him out. Absolutely lovely. I'm going to have to try with this now.
I'd say so.
Absolutely wonderful. The two go absolutely brilliantly together. It's not heavy. The wine's not heavy. It doesn't overpower it. As you said, anything more in alcohol would have defeated the purpose with this cake. Match made in heaven. Cantuccini, cake, chocolate. Forget the gorgonzola.
Well, I'm just going to ask you about this gorgonzola. Is that real gorgonzola?
Yeah.
Is it? Are you sure?
No, veramente speciale la torta.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh.
Guy, someone is asking, Cortopassi Cristiano is asking, is Diana from gli orti di Via Elisa?
Sorry?
Cristiano Cortopassi is asking, is it Diana from gli orti di Via Elisa in Lucca? The Diana you were speaking about.
No,
Is
she's not from. She's from Colombia.
Ah, okay. So,
And,
no, Cristiano, she's not the
lives
one.
in Glasgow, and she's a big fan of this cake.
Okay.
I sent her the recipe last week. She was meant to have made one, but I've never heard anything from her. So I'm guessing she's not made it yet. But Debbie, would you like a little piece?
Lovely. Goes really well together. And it's a fantastic cake. Sandro, tomorrow I'll come down. You need to try it. It's absolutely delicious.
As it's
It's sort of difficult to eat through my mask.
You move it.
No, seriously.
Oh, you got a zipper.
I'll put that piece aside.
Well, what I'll do is I'll cut a really thin slice and you can put it through under the door. Like a cracker.
Yes.
So,
Okay, so
Chiara, I need to order. I forgot to order Aleatico. We need to put 2 dozen bottles on.
okay, I will do that.
Beautiful guy.
Bellissima.
Lovely image.
Bellissima, nice color, beautiful. I can smell it from here.
This is a good all-round sponge.
Yeah.
Particularly moist and particularly fragrant. Very, very fragrant and light. It's superb. Absolutely lovely. One of the best pan di Spagna that I've tasted.
Very
Really
good.
In my life, yes, in my life.
So, my dear friends, I think that we are at the end of this live broadcast, and I am so sorry. I'm starting to cry. I see Guy is crying. Guy, are you crying?
yeah, I'm crying. I kind of, I have to say that I thought if we went on another 2 or 3 shows, I maybe would have proposed to you, but you've cut it short. But it's been an joy.
Maybe in the next month we can do something again. So anyway, let me thank you all, Sandro and Piero, first of all, to have accepted my invitation to do all these, and then to have mentioned Guy, because when we were talking about a special guest to invite, Sandro immediately mentioned Guy. And so I didn't know him, but I trusted them. And so Guy, I can say that they couldn't suggest a better cook than you. You have been, how can I say, sweet, you have been fun, you have been professional. So thank you so much, really, indeed.
Thank you, Guy.
Finding that door put my head out.
And so,
sweet. You're very sweet. And I'm just, as I said before, it's been a privilege and an honour to take part. Having a great fun, and when we eventually see you in Italy, it will be fantastic to actually do some of these recipes in a kitchen.
of course.
And with the oven just behind me.
Yes. Everything around.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for everybody who's put the nice comments on. I think that was my timer for the other cake. Thank you for all the people that sent nice messages, and Alex Norton, if you're watching, I'll make you one of these cakes next time.
Okay. So, Piero, what would you like to say to our friends, just to say goodbye?
Well, I would like to say thank you very much for tuning in. I would like to say thank you to all the customers who are supporting me. As I've already said, without them, we wouldn't even be doing this broadcast. So they're the important people. And from me, it's just been absolutely wonderful doing it. I've enjoyed it all. Even when it was going wrong, I thought it was good fun, and it's helped pass the time during very, very difficult times. Thank you to yourself, Chiara. Thank you to Sandro, Guy, and everybody who's tuned in. Debbie, we don't forget about you.
Debbie, grazie. Debbie, can we see you? Debbie, show yourself.
Thanks, Debbie.
Okay. And as I said, it's been great fun, and let's hope we can do them again in the future. Grazie.
Here is
Thank
Debbie.
you.
Here is Debbie.
Thank
Ciao,
you.
Debbie. Show yourself. Come in the middle of the screen.
Can you see? Come here.
Come in. Okay, Debbie. So this has been Debbie. She has been all the time with her camera. Thank you very much for being with us.
My pleasure.
So, Sandro, it's up to you now. So you close for everybody.
It's good, isn't it?
Sandro, over to you.
Well, I mean, again, I just want to thank everybody, all our viewers and people who have commented. Thank you, Chiara. I just wanted to say, if anybody is interested in Fubbiano or that area of Lucca, or indeed anywhere at all in Italy, please don't be shy to get in touch with me. I'm only too glad to help. Doesn't cost anything. It's a sort of vocation I have. Taking people to Lucca gives me, and surrounding districts, taking them to Fubbiano and letting them know the best restaurants and the best hotels. It's just a pleasure for me. So please get in touch. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Chiara. Thank you, Fubbiano, for letting us, inviting me on the show. And over to you, Chiara.
See, so I'm just reading all these nice messages coming. So I thank all the people that have been following us. I didn't know you had so many friends in the Scottish Italian environment. And so I can say anything else but grazie mille. So Piero, Guy, Debbie, so thank you very much again. And
Salute.
remember, I'm waiting for you in Fubbiano. So as soon as it will be possible, you come to Fubbiano, you stay with me, and please, Guy, I want to taste all the menu you prepared. Okay?
Chiara, you can come to Glasgow and you can stay with Guy.
With that, if Debbie agrees. Anyway, Piero, I'm sure we can organize something in Glasgow too. When it will be possible, I can come. I can think about the wine. We can do a party. I don't know, whatever we can. Anyway, it's a pleasure to have been with you because you are really like a family, and I can feel it. Everybody is feeling that. So thank you very much.
Salute.
Grazie Piero, grazie Sandro, Guy, Debbie. Thank you everybody. See you soon. Grazie a tutti and see you soon. Ciao. Ciao.
Bye.